Hi guys, welcome to a review of Blade Runner 2049. A very interesting movie. I haven't seen the original Blade Runner. I'm just going to preference that right now. So there's nothing, I don't have anything to compare this movie to, but I thought it was excellent. Very excellent. I know it's not doing all that well in the box office, which I actually think is quite a shame, because it really is a very well-made movie. The cinematography is absolutely amazing. There's sweeping landscape shots, really established areas, just a wonderful sci-fi world. And I know the original movie was like the inspiration for a lot of sci-fi worlds, but this movie even takes that concept and adds some things that make it very unique. The director, I don't know what's his name, Denis Villeneuve, I don't know how to say it. He does an excellent job. It's clear he has a vision of what he wants this movie to look like, feel like, be. It's a very visceral experience. There's not actually, the trailers would suggest it's more of an action picture, but it's really not. There are a couple scenes that you could define as action, but, even they are just more, intense scenes. I'll give a little so basically, for those unfamiliar with the Blade Runner concept, Blade Runner takes place in a futuristic world where there are humans and there are replicants, which are robot humans. And Blade Runners are people assigned to hunt down rogue replicants, rogue robots, or older models, which are not programmed to obey humans, because they're basically robot servants, robot slaves, that are not programmed to obey humans as well. The older models aren't. That's why they started an uprising. I think that was the first movie, the original Blade Runner, or something that happened because of the original Blade Runner. I don't really know. But Blade Runners are tasked with hunting down these older, more rebellious models, and the main character is a Blade Runner, and basically he has to investigate. It's more of a mystery than anything. It's a sci-fi mystery story, and because he stumbles upon something that should not be possible with replicants, and is ordered to kind of investigate it and cover it up. And in the process of doing that, stumbles upon things that change his perspective on the world, and goes through this journey. But it's a very slow process. It's very much a mystery story. He finds an individual clue, he moves on to the next point, and he finds another clue, moves on to the next point. And in concept, it sounds boring, or at least slow. And the length of the movie would also suggest that it's slow. I mean, the movie is, I think, 2 hours and 43 minutes long, something like that. Really long. But it does not drag. It doesn't drag at all. It actually, never once during the movie was oh, okay, when is this going to end? I'm bored. It was so intriguing all the way through, and I think a lot of that is the style of it, the look. You really get immersed into the world, but there's also just the mystery element keeps it rolling. You're always wondering what's coming up, what does this mean, what's next. It's just such a wonderfully well-crafted movie. All the actors are great. Some of the scenes are not explicitly connected to the mystery, but every subplot is so crucial to developing characters and developing the world that I'd struggle to say you could cut any scenes out. 2 hours and 43 minutes is long to stomach for a movie, I know. But, I can't think of any scenes that you could just cut out and leave the movie unchanged. I think there is one tiny bit that I think could be reworked to just be cut down a little bit. It's the scene where he's, going into this, orphanage, and he meets this sleazy orphanage runner dude, and it's that guy shows him to this back room where he needs to look at something, and it feels like that could have been kind of changed in a certain way. That scene didn't feel very essential to me, but that's one scene in a almost 3 hour long movie. Every other scene feels so essential to the if not to the main story, then to the character growth. There's a character named Joy, who, while not an active part of the mystery, and really, you could remove her and the plot could still be the same, but she provides a motivating force for the main character, Kay, that kind of drives him to keep pursuing this mystery. She provides kind of the emotional core of the movie, which is ironic because she's like a robot. She's a like an AI girl. And you kind of, but like he develops this relationship with her, and it's a really sweet and interesting part of the movie. And that's like, you could cut that out and the plot would be the same, but the movie would not be nearly as good. So it's that kind of thing. Like, and this is a very artistic movie. Every scene is in there for a reason. Every shot, everything. I think occasionally the director got a bit overzealous with the shot. Like there are some shots that are like hold for a long time, and you're like, all right, that didn't need to be such a long shot. But like, I'd rather the overambition than just like making something that's too short. Like he could like. And I'm glad the movie studio didn't make him, like, cut scenes, because, like, this really, like, you could cut scenes and this movie would still work, but it would feel like there was something missing. Every scene is so important to the movie, and Harrison Ford is, the acting, of course, is really great. Ryan Gosling is, I mean, I haven't seen that much, I don't really have a solid opinion on Ryan Gosling, but in this movie he was great. The girl who plays Joy, who's, I feel like she's a relatively unknown actress, but she was fantastic in that role. She really sold that role. Jared Leto is this creepy guy who runs the like company that produces replicants. He's only in like 2 or 3 scenes, but I mean he's creepy. He's Jared Leto. I mean, he really does like sink into the role. Like, you don't really look at him and don't necessarily go, oh, that's Jared Leto. But then I don't think I did that with Suicide Squad either. He's kind of like a younger Johnny Depp, I feel like, in his like style. Like, he's always playing some weirdo, but it's like a very different kind of weirdo. I mean, Johnny Depp's gotten a little stale, but like, it's whatever. He's good. Harrison Ford is like really good, honestly. Like, I mean, I didn't think he was bad in like Star Wars Episode 7, but it's clear that like it seemed like he was actually like really committed to this role. Like, he was trying really hard, and there's more depth to him than you think. Like you see the trailer and it kind of makes it look like, oh, they're just bringing back this character because he was in the first movie and we gotta have some way to sell it. But that's not. I mean, he's important to the movie, and he's not like, he doesn't at all usurp the protagonist's role. He's a supporting part of the story, just like everything else. And that's what, this doesn't feel like, even though this was a sequel that was green-lighted because of the potential cash grab aspects of it, it doesn't feel like it was made because of it feels like it was made because somebody actually wanted to make a new story in this universe that like connected to the original story while creating something new and fresh and interesting. And that's, in a world where we're getting so many reboots and sequels of old franchises, it's really cool to see one that feels like it was made because somebody wanted to make it, rather than because this was a classic franchise and it's profitable now. And that's just really cool. It's just a really well-made film. I've seen a lot of people say it's better than the original. I haven't seen the original, so I can't make that comparison, but I really, really loved it. And it's not doing well in the box office, so like, if you haven't seen it, like, go see it. Encourage Hollywood to make more movies like Blade Runner 2049, more movies with like substance and like amazing creativity and stuff. Honestly, this movie could win some Oscars. It's like really, really good. Arrivederci!